Welcome back to MadTakeTV. I am Jeremy, the face that you shall see when you tune into this channel for the most part. But as usual, I have another face joining me, the beautiful face of my wife. Welcome, Jenna.
Hi.
And today we're here to talk about our participation and subsequent winning of a costume contest at the Northwest Indiana Comic Con. I don't know if I should say that, so I'm giving away a little too much, but
Why?
is what it is. So yes, it was a Comic Con held in our hometown, and my daughter is not joining us right now. She's feeling a little under the weather and tired from yesterday, so is what it is. But my wife is here, who for the most part did all the painting of the props that you see on the table next to us. She helped us both put together our insane costumes. We went as Jinx and Silco from the Arcane Netflix series. So Maddie had two different versions of her costume. We'll get into and we'll show some pictures and everything as we keep going. But we just kind of wanted to do a fun little talk about the stuff that we did for our costumes. She has all of Maddie's stuff here, but not any of mine. But again, we'll talk about it. No, she made the belt. She made the belt. Okay. But we'll talk about all that, and we have some pictures to show too. Hi Jenna.
Hi.
And first of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it was amazing.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
You did an amazing job on these props here. So she painted Jinx's gun. This was a 3D printed by a buddy of ours, Jay. I won't go too far into names and stuff like that, but yes, he's a 3D print guy, and he took care of 3D printing the gun and 3D printing this grenade. Also 3D printed his daughter, who also participated in the costume contest, as Vi from Arcane. Kind of just a weird thing that happened. There was no discussions beforehand about going as this joint costume or whatever. Me and Maddie had planned to go as Jinx and Silco, and some reason or another, Sasha decided to dress up as Vi. And so she got a file for Vi's glove for a 3D print, and Jason 3D printed and spray painted this entire working glove. We do not have that, by the way, because that's theirs. But you could put your hand in it and you could grip it and you can move the fingers. The girl that played Vi, her hand wasn't strong enough to move the thing, so she actually had to move it, and she kept accidentally popping up the middle finger, accidentally.
Yeah.
But
I do have a video of that we could show.
Right.
If
So
you
we'll go through that, and but yeah, also just wanted to say thank you, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
And I never showed up expecting to win anything, but we ended up Maddie and Sasha won the group. The teen group contest for their costumes as Jinx and Vi, and then we all three together we won the adult first place in the adult group costume contest, because they do singles and adults, or singles and groups. So again, we didn't go expecting to win anything. My costume, man, it crept up on us. We knew we wanted to do this, but as always, your life gets in the way and you don't really have so much of a time. The next thing you know, it's 4 days to go, and you I haven't done shit for my costume, so let's get started. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't have anything. And when I looked, all I had was the first of all 3 things that pulled out was my jacket, the burgundy button-up shirt, and a vest. The rest was all come up with in 2 days' time. But we'll show pictures of that, and I can start doing that if you want.
Yeah. Did you download all the pictures?
I did.
Okay.
So when I put them all in the same folder.
Can you put them up there so I could show you which one I wanted to start with?
So this is showing the thing. I can't really see. I might have to
Yeah.
scooch around a little bit. So you want to see a list view?
Yeah, just to show the thumbnails of the photos, because I'd like to start with her pants, I guess order of events and how I created them.
Uh-oh. So this is just like the flip through when I opened it. So how? So so you want me to come over here and
You put it in a folder?
I did. Maybe it's in downloads. Yeah, here. Wait. What? Here.
And then on the view, switch the view to large icons. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can make that bigger. Don't click the X.
Yeah, but if I make this bigger, I have to switch through and show the whole screen. Like,
Okay.
so how?
Just click on the one of her in her pants and I'll talk about it for a minute. That one.
Okay.
There you go. Put that over there.
Why is that? Am I now capturing the wrong window? Oh my God. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Sorry, I asked him to add in an element that he's never done before because I wanted to have like the extra
Yeah,
things.
I mean, she wants like a projector view, like, and
want
I
him to
got
be
it all up, ready to go to flip through the pictures, and then she's like, "Oh, I want to look at the thumbnails." Like, okay.
Anyway. Okay. So, you know.
So where we started was we originally bought a Jinx costume.
Right. Maddie had asked for the Jinx cosplay for Christmas this year. So Jay printed the gun. That was one of her big gifts for Christmas. She was super excited about it. It was completely white when we gave it to her.
It was primed. It was printed, sanded, and then primed.
Yeah. And then the Jinx cosplay came with the pants, the top, which was like a pleather material that was not comfortable and just
nor
crappy.
suitable, really,
Yeah,
because it was just the way it fit her. It didn't. It was a little too
Yeah. Now,
too cheapy.
yeah, keep in mind now she's a size 12 girl, not excessively large. I read the measurements on the
No,
costume
she's a normal
from
sized
China.
teenage girl. Yeah.
Ordered a double XL that said that it would fit her, and it was, I would guess, 7 inches too small, like from actually zipping on her back. And then if you look at the photo, I added the 3-inch waistband to the top and the triangles on the sides. Now the 3-inch waistband.
She basically took these pants completely apart.
Yeah.
Almost.
But the 3-inch waistband at the top is sitting on top of where the top of the pants actually ended, which did not even cover her butt. So just the way that the material was put together to begin with was not ever going to fit a normal human being with any sort of curvature on their body.
Right.
And it had no stretch. The material is polyester that does not give at all.
Like no give at all, right.
So I added the waistband at the top and the triangles on the sides,
But
and then I
also
put
added a Velcro. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
You were getting to that.
Velcro on the back is just so we could get it to close because the bottom of the pants came with the zipper, and then I just put the Velcro. I wasn't going to add another zipper. And then, putting the panels back on that fall over the top, and then, we added belts in. We opted to have her just wear a black sports bra that she had, and Jeremy brought it out to the barn, and we drew little white marks on the front, and he put white grommets in, and we used old shoestring to put the little tie on the front.
Right. And there's that glove that we were talking about, since I just flipped to that picture, the 3D printed power glove that Vi wears in the show.
This also is a good example of the changes that we modified to her Jinx's wig. Maddie got 2 wigs for Christmas, kind of on accident. She had originally asked for a wig that my mom had ordered, and then separately, when we were trying to find the different Jinx costumes, we found one that would arrive in time for Christmas, but it included the wig in with the costume. And, you know, instead of trying to return one or whatever, I was like, she'll probably need to anyway. So it was kind of nice because then I cut up
She
one
did.
wig.
She wasn't happy with the length of
Yeah.
the original braids when we
Right.
got them. She was just like, they're too short. That's not how like
They
her hair hangs
ended-
to the floor.
yeah, they
and my daughter is like she's like me. She wants stuff to be lore accurate. And as hard as that is to pull off in cosplay, sometimes she's a stickler for it. Which most of the time in the end, it's like, all right.
Yeah, it paid off.
It
Yeah.
paid off.
It was difficult. I had to rubber band the braids at the base of one of the wigs, and then I cut right above the rubber bands, and then I took that braid and used Gorilla Tape and a ton of rubber bands, and then I attached the two braids that you can kind of see are different, slightly different colors, but it didn't really matter in the end. And then we added the gold
No, with the
metallic.
separation, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, the gold metallic tape over it as well, since Jinx always had the gold accents in her hair.
I forgot about dude coming with the van. We should not have started until he got here.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Are you pausing it?
If I pause it, then I have to upload 2 videos. I don't, unless you're going to show me how to tie it
I don't
together.
know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either. So anyway, just keep talking about it.
Okay,
until he
well,
gets here, I guess.
Oh, he's on his way.
He's hit 2 minutes, so I'll be pulling it. I'll have to go open that door.
Well,
so,
I have plenty to talk about. Okay, so on top of the gun and the grenade and her wig changing and all of that.
you can show it if you hold it up to that
yeah.
camera.
So,
you can show it, yeah.
where is it at?
It's
Oh, yeah. It's ours.
I can hide
okay,
that.
here. No, it's okay. Here, just show it over there.
Yeah.
So I ordered this on Etsy. It was a vial that came with the ends that needed to be painted. So I painted the ends just to kind of rough them up a little bit. And then,
Yeah, but they were painted. They were
black.
gray, or they were black
all
when
black.
they showed up.
Yeah.
And she look at the details she put into the actual. It looks like a metal from the cartoon, like it
Yeah.
was painted.
So, I mean, doing
looks
that
like
is
a
not,
hit.
it's not difficult. Usually you just have to be okay with layering on top of layering. So if you pick 3 colors and, you know, you put one on and then you slightly use the same brush to do the next one and the next one. And since all the colors are,
But it really does just fit in with the aesthetic of the show, the way she painted it. And granted, she watched the show with us, but she wasn't she's not a huge nerd like we are and get into all that. But like, so she just really captured the look of what it looks like actually on screen in the show. She did a great job.
what else are we going to talk about? Okay, so for her pants and her top and her wig, everything came together beautifully. The fake tattoos were trash, and they were peeling off by the end of the day.
They
but
were peeling off instantly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't have any of that.
let's just go to those photos. Yeah, I mean they worked out great.
Right.
Her-
and there's
her
the first
boots-
reveal of my Silco costume.
Her boots were something that we were worried about. Like, we weren't really sure if they were going to arrive on time. We had to pay the extra money to have them shipped. But we also met another girl dressed as Jinx and who had homemade her boots, and they were
She
awesome.
had homemade her entire costume.
Her whole costume.
She like
Yeah.
sewed the pants.
Yeah.
Like, she made everything. She ended up winning Best in Con as a group with her friend who was dressed as Isha. And if she would have given me her handles, she told me her name. If she gave me her handles, I'd give her a shout out on here. But her name was Gabby. She was super cool, and she showed me a few of her costumes that she had done in the past. And one of them was from Critical Role, which is right up my alley. I'm a huge fan of Critical Role. So yeah, and she had won Best in Con last year with that costume. So she's the one to beat. She's the one that we got to beat next year, to win the Best in Con. But we did end up winning first place group, and Maddie and them won first place team group. So.
Go
This
over
is
to
us.
the close up of the Silco pics.
Do I have to go back to the thing or just flip
Just
through?
flip through it. I'm sure I mean,
Here's
so-
the process of painting.
yeah. So I mean, go back a pic. That was like the first coat that I had. Maddie had started on the gun earlier in the week,
And
and
we were really running short on time.
We were.
And she's Maddie's also busy. She's
Yeah.
got things. And you
Well,
get busy.
and I could tell that she was really struggling with the process. She wasn't. I know she knows what she wants in the end, but she was starting at the wrong part of painting the gun. She was hyper focused on the like where she wanted this stuff to land and how she wanted this to look and what color this was going to be, instead of focusing on, okay, it needs a base layer, everything has to
Right.
be painted. And
Right.
even though, like, and you can see in the picture here, like this stuff was all, I painted it all like a base of a purple, and here was a purple with some gray, some light gray. I didn't have any of the metallic paint when I started this. So if click to the next photo, I think.
Can you see the arrows better?
Yeah.
Okay. There he is.
So here was my original finish of the gun, which purely was just browns and mustard yellows. I did have the pink and the blue. I had no black paint in the house, so, and I didn't let it, stress me out. I did go in on the gun and add the black Sharpie lines, and all these accents here are all just black Sharpie. I did not have any black paint, and it really didn't even matter. I went the next day and bought black paint, and then I never ended up using it. Let's see if, but after I had this finish, Maddie just definitely was not feeling it. She didn't feel like it was what she wanted. So this is what I ended up doing. I went and got the metallic gold and the metallic silver and added that in, and it really did make things pop. And then I got a brighter pink and went one little layer over the top of the pink and the silver and the gold, and spray painted the whole thing with a clear coat, and it turned out awesome. I mean, it really looks like Jinx's gun. I mean, I don't even know how to say that. It turned out great. She was happy with it at the end. Last minute, Maddie forgot that we didn't paint her nails, and I was like, oh geez, well, we'll find some paint in the house. So we found the paint or the nail polish in the house that barely worked, and we painted her fingernails, and she wanted to also have Jinx's missing middle finger, which is I guess a metal finger in the show. So we painted the gold metallic on her actual finger. And I don't even know if any of the judges ever noticed that, but it was something that we did. Here's the base of the grenade when we were when I was just starting out. Yeah.
She take over for me. You might even need it here.
You're not. No.
Go ahead.
Again, with the grenade, I only had grays and no black, which I thought I was fine with. Here's the gun again.
Like even with missing black paint, like.
But I
I think you killed it.
Yeah.
So you told them that you drew everything out with Sharpie.
Yeah, I didn't. I did go and buy the black paint afterwards, but I didn't even need it. And here's the grenade as I finished it, and then again. I did go back in after I went and bought that extra hot pink, and you can see that it really does pop
I don't know
a
how
little
well
bit better.
It's showing up on the camera here, but yes, in person. It's definitely a lot brighter.
It's a lot
than when it
brighter.
turned off.
Yeah.
The first time, more Jinxy.
Yeah.
Not Jinxy the streamer, more Jinx-y.
Yeah. It turned out great. So, let me see here. What else we have? Her contacts, her makeup, totally done by Madeline.
Yes.
So between the teen group and the adult group, they went and did a photo shoot, which was really cool. We had waited in line for an hour before.
And then just as the hour finished, we were about to walk up.
Yeah, we
He's
were
like,
next.
I gotta go take pictures
Yeah.
of the contest because it was the same photographer
Yeah.
was doing both things. It seemed like kind of like, why is he spending so much time with each person for like, it just seemed like it was like, wow, man, like how are you doing this, like moving all these people in and out of here at this pace? But like when you got up and started talking to him, it was like, oh man, like
He really cared. He
really
wanted you to
cared.
have the photo that you
walked up
wanted.
and showed you, had the photos. Super cool guy. I am blanking on the name. Did we even
Steve,
catch it? Or what the name of his business was, so we could shout it out at least.
yeah.
He was there last year. We actually didn't even. We started waiting in line last year to get photos taken, and we couldn't even. It was so packed, we couldn't even get in.
Yeah, Steve Kaminsky is his name. He's a Northwest Indiana photographer. He really great
He's been
guy.
shooting the Comic Con for a couple years now. We've seen him every year. We've gone there, and mind you, this is just a small con. It is not a big thing. It's getting bigger and bigger, and I think they've actually outgrown the building they're doing it in now, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody who will ever is
I don't know if they'll move it because it's nice to have it in the area, and we don't have a lot of other big.
But there is other buildings there. Like I feel like if you just, and I know separating it into two separate buildings is not great because I know that vendors and certain people that got put in the second building probably wouldn't be too happy about being in the second building. But like there's a lot of cons and a lot of stuff that takes place in separate buildings.
Just put the cosplay event in its own building and it would be full. I mean, the amount of people that were there simply for the contest took up a whole wing of the building. I mean,
you say a wing, but they really cram it into that corner of that building. But that's all all stuff like we can discuss all day.
Yeah.
But we
so anyway,
unless we take steps and actually get involved somehow.
No,
which
I don't want
to. I don't know if I want that.
No, thank you.
I've thought about like offering like a sponsorship through my business or something like that, but I don't know even what I would do. I noticed that last year they had banners and stuff printed. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember which sign company it was, but there was another one in the area that was on the banner, and I was like, okay, so they
might have just
everything.
Forgotten.
Well, I'm wondering if they couldn't the place that did it last year just didn't want to do it again.
Yeah,
because sponsorship banners, that means that they were made as the sponsorship basically.
Yeah.
And I would do that. Banners aren't expensive. I could have done that, and we could have made it cool, and that would be right up my alley. But like, we'll see.
Anyway, when we were doing the photo shoot in between the teen group and the adult cosplay, they did the photo shoot, and Maddie was really struggling to keep her long wig with the braids on. It kept falling back because
the braids were like
so heavy.
Backwards on her head.
So every photo, I had to help her pull it forward, and she's got a gun and a grenade, and Vi had her big hand, and Silco has his vials, and so I was constantly trying to fix her hair. So we had originally
the amount of times that she like reached up and grabbed her and yanked it forward was.
We brought the extra wig, the one that I actually destroyed, to make the long braid, and we had talked about it being a switch out just because it still looked cool, all chopped up and at the end of season 2, she cuts her braids off. So I'm like, why not let's incorporate it.
Right. I was about to add that it was lore accurate.
Yeah.
And up to Maddie's.
She was good with that.
She was good with that when I think she was even the one who said it, maybe.
Yeah. And to
begin with. And she was like, yeah, so I put the hood on. So it was cool that between the contests, she was able to change up her costume a little bit and not.
Yeah.
The judges appreciated it. They did.
And it was mainly for comfortability, like she wanted to switch out the wigs. She put the hood on. It looked badass. The wig with the hood, it was so sick, matching her purple eyes.
Right.
All of it, I would touch up her lips here and there. They spent a ton of time waiting in line to get up on stage and all of that, and it was instant right back into character. She loved talking to the judges and all of that.
Shout out to the judges. I wish I knew all of your names or would have memorized them to shout them out here, but you guys were all great. I think you were super fair with everyone, which I really appreciate. Technically, she won twice, but she won in the teen and the adult group, which because I wanted to enter the contest with them, we had to all enter as an adult group. I couldn't enter the teen group with them. That would have been weird. So they were allowed to enter the adult group with me, and we actually won again, or the second time, which I thought was cool. But that did not happen a ton in the contest. Like it feels like there was judges' choice, and then there was like best showmanship, and there was best. So there was a lot for everybody to win. Not everybody did win everything, but like. No. And I don't know if you took any pictures of any of the other costumes, but I don't even know that we're
there's a few in here.
Allowed to like share.
Here's the big. This is the group. This is all of the adults that were winners. So, you know, like the NWI Ghostbusters.
South Shore Ghostbusters is what they're called. That's a group of Ghostbuster cosplayers who put a ton of work into their proton packs.
Yeah.
There was guys with like LED screens that were on their proton packs where there was ghosts flying around inside of the proton pack. It was super cool.
Yeah.
There was 3D printed ones. There was handcrafted ones. They really put a lot of work into it. So like shout out to the South Shore Ghostbusters. They were super cool.
The ones in the background here are some of the judges. I think, can they see my mouse? Is that
Yeah, you
okay?
should be able to see
All
that.
right, so
around there a
these
little bit.
3 in the back here were judges. They were really cool. This guy from Ninja Turtles, the bug or
I'm
ant.
pretty sure I know for the, like solo best in con.
I
pretty
think he was best in con.
Yeah. He was Baxter Stockman from the Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon series.
The
which was great.
animal was best
Showmanship.
showmanship, and they were
She
great.
came out and did like a whole dance.
Whole dance.
Like,
it was
great. She
awesome.
did a
So
good
much
job.
fun.
Yeah.
This one from the lady on stilts.
Shout out to I don't know the character's name, but she's from Resident Evil 7, I think. And she was on stilts the entire time.
It was crazy.
It was so insane. Shout out to her for walking around on stilts. She couldn't even go up on stage. So whenever she would win anything,
they had to
or have to take a picture, she would walk out and stand in front of the stage like that.
Yeah, and they would have to like
honestly, like, because if you look where if she would have got up on stage, she would have hit her head.
She would hit her head. Yeah. These 2 guys were from some game. The shooters over here.
Oh, they were from Titanfall, one of the best shooters ever, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so then
rest in peace, Titanfall.
these were
This is
from
during the photo shoot.
Yeah, during that photo shoot with.
There's a good shot of my full costume. I don't know if we've talked about that. Like so the jacket. So if you back up to the full body costume, so if the jacket, and if anybody watching recognizes, okay, that is the jacket of the Black Swordsman Kirito from the anime Sword Art Online. So I have had this jacket for years. Like we bought it at a Comic-Con one time. We thought it was cool, and I had the 2 swords. So just like, I don't think we ever did a cosplay with it, did we?
No, never.
But like, but anyway, so I pulled the jacket out and like put it on. I've grown a few inches. It doesn't buckle all the way like it used to. It's fine. Silco never has his jacket closed.
It's about the same as Maddie's Jinx pants straight from China. Not
close.
budging.
Right. So anyway, I found the suit vest, plain black vest, plain black buttons. The tie came from my son wore a tie to my brother-in-law's wedding. That was the perfect gold.
A couple years ago,
just in a closet doing nothing. I pull out the jacket. I put on the jacket. I'm like, man, this could work. The lining out of it is all silver. So I said to my wife, I said, what if we like painted the gold onto the silver? Halfway joking, halfway not. Well, she did it, and it looked awesome. Yeah. So then we get the day of. I'm talking like an hour before we're leaving or less.
Well, no, the day before I put the vampire flaps in.
Okay, so the red flaps she put in on the vampire flaps, as we called them. She put on the coat. She
random fabric that my mom had in her closet that matched his button-up shirt identically.
Like I laid the shirt down on top of the fabric that she brought off. We just both started laughing because it just blended into the fabric. It was like perfect. Anyway, so she made these triangle flaps and sewed them inside the coat in the wrong place at first, but she's awesome. So she moved it and it looked awesome. I had to learn how to tie an Eldridge tie knot, which was probably the most frustrating part of the costume.
It was up there with the contacts.
And this is what I'm doing. The contacts were less frustrating than we originally anticipated from the last time you tried to put contacts in my eyes.
You broke a sweat a few times putting this costume on, and I'll say that 2 of the times were with the contacts, and one of the times was
one of them was taking the contact out. Was not
the tie knot was you were angry.
I was getting angry at the tie knot, but it's fine. MadTakeTV.
Yeah.
Well.
So the belts that Maddie and Jeremy are both wearing there happen to be random bits of gold pieces that my mom had dropped off.
We nicknamed it the brooch bucket. She brought over a bunch of had gold metal pins
straight out of the early 80s, I think, and they were still on the cardboard
Yeah.
with the dollar sign on for how much
Right.
she paid 60 cents each for these these little belt buckle things.
Right. And then so if you look at the buttons going down my vest too, those were just black buttons. So like I said, last minute before we're
Yeah.
leaving, I take the vest and I take some of the gold duct tape that we had left over and I lined the vest at the top with the gold and then I lined the pockets with the gold. She pulls out these weird looking
They were
button
like
things.
they're like clasps. I think they were meant
And she-
to close like a shirt or something.
Yes, something like that to like close like it's like a clasp you would close like a corset or something
Over
like
a
that.
button or something.
They're
yeah.
solid metal. They're heavy. So she takes it. She like clips it on my button. I'm like, hell yeah.
I had originally put them on sideways all the way down, and I was gonna
it was fine.
put
That
a
still looked
stitch
good.
of like I was gonna sew them sideways, and then
Right.
we turned them right side up, and I'm like, oh well, that looks fine.
But even first, you only had like 2 of them. Or so, and we like hung it on there, like, yeah, that looks good. So she starts digging through the roach bucket. It has 5 buttons. She finds 5 of these things.
Exactly 5
Exactly
of them.
5.
Yeah.
So we just kind of hung them from the buttons, like really, like
Yeah.
they're just literally, they're not. She super glued them a little bit, but they're not like they're just hanging from the buttons there. Really added a lot. The duct tape and the gold added a ton to the vest. It all blended. I put the coat on and I went and looked in the mirror and I just started laughing. And I'm like, I'm fucking Silco. Here I
Yeah.
am. Like, right.
Getting the contact in was a lot. I think where was that?
Maddie
one?
does a really
Sorry.
good job with the contacts. She just puts them in, no problem.
I thought I had the picture of you. Oh yeah, here we go.
There's the contact.
So the contact. At first, I was looking for an all black contact, but then
like a whole eyeball cover like that. Wasn't it?
I never expected to be able to get a whole eyeball cover into your eye. But I was looking for a blackout contact. But when I went to M&M, which is the beauty supply store in town, they always have weird contacts, and they happened to have this one that was mostly. It looked black. I think it's more brown, mostly brown with a hint of red. And when you look at a picture of Silco, he does have like a spot of red in his
like a
eye. And I
spot
was
of
like,
orange
all
red in
right,
the eye,
well,
like, yeah.
that works. So the contact worked out great. I started with the black lines on his face, shaded out around it, added white and like foundation colors towards the end.
And I'm watching her, like I'm looking in the mirror. Well, first of all, she aggressively poked me in the eye with the brush and made my eye water.
Giant baby.
So anyway, she starts drawing like the black lines on my face, like where she's just glancing at a picture and she's just drawing them, and like she steps away and I, again, just start giggling like, wow, babe, like this is incredible, like how, and then she just took it and just started shading the lines in. It made it look, it was perfect. She nailed it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a compliment to say that you had the perfect face for Silco, but
No,
like it really
listen.
worked. It worked out really well. All of the lines
This is-
in his face.
this is
I was
why-
able to add on to it.
A lot of the reasons I don't do cosplay, I don't fucking look like a superhero. Okay? I'm ice cream shaped. All right? And so like I'm not going to fit into a bodysuit
I don't think
like
anybody
that
cares.
I could be like Spider-Man or Wolverine. And I know, but like it's just me, lore accurate type of things. You know,
Yeah.
like Silco, like I fit the costume. Like the
Yeah.
costume fits me the way I look. I got the right hair. We actually planned my hair for it. Like I went like extra long in between haircuts just to like really thicken out my hair and like be able to like brush it back
Yeah.
like his. The hair took me a little bit too, and then I screwed it up when I put the tie over my neck. I screwed up my hair, so I had to go and like start over again after I had already sprayed the finishing spray in it, so it was still like drying. And man, by the time I got done, it looked really good from the side, from the front. So then, just as a finishing touch, I said, "Can you add like a streak of gray?" And she's like, "Yeah." She just takes white paint and just added like 2 or 3 streaks
Yeah.
of gray in my hair. It looked amazing.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
It worked out really well.
The cool part is I wasn't, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
You're
you,
good.
but I wasn't, when you play a cosplay, you want people to recognize the character that you're dressing up as. It's like one of the number one things. You want people to be able to recognize it. Even if you did like an off-brand version or like your own version of it, you want people to see it and recognize like, oh, you're this guy. And like 100% that's what happened. Like I got
Yeah.
stopped for pictures. People, Silco? Like, yeah, for sure. Oh, great, Silco.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot of positive responses on the costume.
I don't know if the belt buckle was really noticed and appreciated, but he like made the belt buckle with the gold duct tape and cut the V out. And
So the belt buckle on Kirito's jacket that we bought, it actually had this like strap across it that's in the thing, and he's got like this 3D printed like tri-piece, and on the shoulder there's like a real recognizable little piece. You won't be able to see it in this picture, but I just took that piece off of the shoulder. It was like a plastic 3D printed piece that was velcroed onto the shoulder. I just took that off. I put 2 little pieces of velcro on my everyday belt that I wear and just covered that gray piece with gold duct tape, cut out the little V with the razor blade, and stuck it on the belt buckle.
Yeah.
And it really it was like a little finishing touch. I'm glad that you can see it in that picture.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it looks cool.
Because it filled in the V.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at but it filled in the V like under the vest.
Yeah.
Like, and just seeing a black
Yeah.
belt buckle there wouldn't have been anything
Right.
wrong with that, but having that little touch there was great.
Yeah. I think
And then the extra strap, extra belt buckle that kind of hung around my hips was cool.
Yeah. The one thing that I think we struggled with after the wig falling off constantly was Maddie's straps on her arms. They kept loosening and falling off.
But
all the
again,
way
this was
down.
not elastic type fabric.
No, it was
This is fabric
just
that just has
like
like
a pleather
Right.
piece that it
Right.
is all very chintzy, so
But again, to get it to look good,
Yeah.
like even if you're making it yourself, like look at my belt around my waist, the lower belt,
Yeah.
like the one that you made.
Yeah.
Like when I asked you to make that, you kind of were like, oh my God, because you're thinking, take the fabric, fold it in half, sew it around, like
Yeah.
turn it inside out the right way, and like to have
Well,
stitches.
not with
like
that
an
kind.
inseam, but like
that was like the
I was
leather
like, so
material.
just cut an inch
Yeah.
strip and sew it around the belt buckles, and it'll work. And it did. It turned out great.
If you look at this photo, though, right under Maddie's sports bra, there's a leather piece of material that I had added to her top.
Yes.
Which is not attached to her top. It's literally just a belt, basically. But I did
But it
hem
finished
that.
off the shirt
I
really
hemmed
well.
it on both top and bottom, and on the back, it's got a ton of Velcro so that we could pull it apart and then tighten it and lay it down, if she wanted it looser or tighter or whatever. So that, is the same exact material as the belts that I made for both of them on the bottom of their waist, but the top one is hemmed nicely
And you can see the streaks
finished.
in my hair in that picture
Yeah.
really well too.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Overall,
it didn't have like a cut seam. Like you had
Right.
it had a nice finished edge
Yes.
there. Yeah. It looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Like really good. You can see how her tattoos are peeling off. So the way to do tattoos from now on is just body paint,
I
basically.
guess, yeah.
You're gonna have to use some sort of paint for that. And that's a pain in the ass because then you gotta really get into your artistic
Yeah.
soul and paint clouds on the side of
I don't
somebody.
think
Like
it wouldn't be too hard. I wasn't
She's
like
an excellent
I wasn't a super
Painter.
big fan of adding all the bullets all over her that came with her cosplay.
I have to look at
but
the character
She
of
wanted them on there. I didn't see them on like the pictures
On the
online,
characters?
but I didn't look at actual pictures of Jinx. So I mean, Maddie insisted that she had bullets on her. But
I don't know that for a fact either.
I don't know. She didn't seem to care where I put them. I put one in the middle of her back, kind of
Right.
cool, and just kind of added them to her arms and stuff, which was fun. It's nice to see it all come together, and it's definitely way more fun if you win. So it was
Well,
all the
everything's
work.
more fun if you win, but
All the
also
work paid off.
the community of people that are participating in these cosplay events, it's usually the same group of people, give or take a few people.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of the same faces the past few years, but it's all like a super supportive like community. Like everybody cheers everybody on. It is a competition per se, but there's really no sense of competition. Everybody walks up and compliments each other's costumes. Hey, it looks great. There's no I didn't catch any negativity
No,
for anybody
there
knocking
was a-
anybody's costume.
There was a lot of supportive groups of friends too, which was really cool. There was a 6-piece teen group of
Was
my
that 7?
I think it was 6. My Little Pony.
Right.
They did great.
Yeah. And they won a judge's award because he said simply for that fact. The guy said, he's like, when I do cosplay, like one of the first things I look at is craftsmanship. But I also know how hard it is to get 6 other people to coordinate the
Yeah.
right way with what you're trying to do in your vision. So for that,
Yeah.
I give it to the My Little Pony.
They did good.
They did.
Another one that
And it was more or less not like they had like masks or pony heads on or anything. They just dressed
as the character.
As the characters, and they had wigs on that match.
You could tell who Rainbow Bright was.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
they did a good job.
I don't remember the names of My Little Ponies.
Oh,
I know Kenzie used to like the stuff, but like that's been so many years ago now.
But I mean, they did a good job. The one that I loved the most in the teen group or the teen age bracket was actually a friend of one of the kids. Anyway, Cam did a fantastic job as Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch.
Freaking awesome.
She had
so unique.
Made. What did you say? So she had a garbage can lid on her head.
It was
all made of cardboard.
It was sitting on a fidget spinner so that the whole thing would rotate.
And she had cardboard made.
Like a banana peel.
Apple.
A chewed up apple.
Trash. And she could reach in and pull. She had a trash can around her made out of cardboard that was kind of hanging from suspenders. But she could reach down and she like pull out cardboard made and sculpted pieces of trash.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Great.
She had a sign that she pull out said "Scram."
Yeah,
she won.
She won best individual, I think.
Yes,
yeah, she did great.
Yes.
Last year, I feel like she was My Little Pony or a Monster High doll or something.
I think it was the Monster High doll.
Yeah, and she made her hair. It was really cool.
Her costume was insane.
Really cool stuff. So, I mean, it's just really neat to see the
shout out to all
different
the cosplayers that were there.
creativity aspects that fall into it. You know, I mean, I've been a makeup artist for almost 15 years now and, you know, loved art my whole life, painting and stuff like that. He's a graphic designer. He's into the comic books. Like, they're two different worlds, really. But coming together, we were able to make it all
Listen, and I don't. When my wife says she can do something, I've learned to not doubt it. Over the 16 years, almost 17 years we've been married, right?
I don't know, something like that.
Trouble. If you would have asked me if she could have painted this, I'd have said absolutely. No,
you would have said no. You would have highly doubted it.
I would have known that she could have painted it, but like, would I have known that it would have turned out as accurate as it did? I probably wouldn't have guessed. But like, for her first time painting a 3D printed prop, I mean, holy hell, she absolutely nailed it. I do want to do more. This is like inspired me. I'm gonna get a 3D printer. We have to at one point. How good she did this. I'm the video game guy. I know what we could print. We could make props.
Do the phones show up if I like show? This is. That's what Maddie gave me.
Yeah, it shows up pretty well.
That's what Maddie gave me as what she wanted the gun to look like. So
I think you nailed it.
I got as close as I could.
Right. So just a huge shout out to my daughter, Sasha, who did Vi and Jinx. They did a great job. Sasha's first time ever. Yeah, we are like way over.
How are we blown out? Did I do that?
You did that.
I'm sorry.
Up towards the camera, I bet.
Well, maybe put your finger on there and bring it back. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, fixed. But anyway, shout out to everybody that participated.
Yeah.
Never expected to win. But I mean, I guess, and again, you're putting these things together last minute, and you're just like, yeah, nobody's gonna respect this. Like, whatever. It's just a natural human thing, or whatever. But then when I stepped and looked in the mirror, even at the house, I was like, all right, this looks pretty good. And we got there, and nothing but compliments from everybody. I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever done a cosplay in public. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He definitely said that if the girls were not going to be allowed to do the teen and the adult, that he just would not participate. He was fine with just watching, which was nice.
Yeah, we were totally there for them.
It was so cool that they were able to be a part of the adult one, and they killed it. They
honestly, I made a mistake. I didn't bother entering the adult single costume contest because I was just there just to be Silco for Maddie's Jinx is really all I was there for. I should have entered the singles competition. The one judge he really liked my costume.
Yeah.
And at the very least, I think I could have walked away with a judge's choice.
Yeah.
On my
I
Silco
don't know.
by
I do
itself.
feel like at this con, the judges don't give out duplicates. I have
did.
not
But
seen
see,
it.
We won the teen and the same costume,
I'm
basically
saying
one
that
teen and
in the same judging,
Got it.
in the same grouping.
is
If you're in as an adult single and an adult group, I have not seen anybody win both. I have not seen them
right.
individually win something and then win as a
Which
group.
is cool because it makes for
I'm
a big
okay
group
with
of
that.
winners up at the
It
top.
makes a lot more people happy if
Yeah.
you spread out the winnings.
And again, I can't speak for everybody's emotions. I don't know what everybody was feeling at the time. I know that when each winner was announced, there was a huge cheer.
There was. Everybody was really excited for everybody.
Everybody was excited for everybody. When they walked off stage, people congratulated them. I didn't see anybody mad or stomping their feet that they didn't win. I would honestly, the Titanfall guys, the two guys, I don't know their names. Those are young fellas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they've been there all 3 years that we've been going, and I haven't never seen them win anything.
They
So
like
it
their
was
pose was
cool.
on point this year. I
was-
really liked how they went up on stage
Yeah.
and they had whatever their pose was, and then they switched to like a different pose,
Right.
and then
were
they switched
dressed
again.
as pilots from the game Titanfall. And I think that was it was cool that they got a shout out and got I think it was a Judge's Choice Award
Yeah.
they got, and so
I
it was cool to see
definitely
them win
think
something.
like watching it, I feel like the judges appreciate it more for the people who care about them. Like literally the people that walk up on stage, they show the crowd what they have, and then they turn around and they want to talk to the judges. They want to, say, hey, this is what I did. And, do you have any questions or whatever? There was a lot of people, and I'm sure it's just their own nerves or they just
Sure.
aren't talkers or whatever. They get up on stage, they show their stuff, and they immediately walk right off.
I am not. Listen. I'm sitting here and talking to a microphone and uploading YouTube videos to YouTube. There's nobody else here. That's a hump to get over. It really is. But getting up on stage in front of actual live people is a thing and a fear for people. I have it myself. I don't.
Your
I don't
daughter
like it.
does not.
Maddie has no fear, and that's I kind of followed her energy
Yeah.
on there, and it just kind of went up and just do the pose, whatever. Everybody loves it, just
Yeah.
do it, and tried not to think.
Yeah.
And my costume looked good. I was
Yes.
super comfortable.
And Vi, the other girl in the group with them,
She's
our
super
daughter,
shy, too.
one of my best friend's daughter. We've known her since she was little, itty bitty,
Right.
and she's always been a super shy girl. She could have definitely won an individual with that hand, and her
Yeah, you
costume
can see
was
it on there.
spot
Like,
on.
look how cool it is. It is
So,
so cool.
like-
it was incredibly heavy.
It was so heavy.
So she was walking around carrying it like a baby
Yeah.
most of the day, but like it was
But
right.
she would not have even participated in this if it wasn't in the group setting. She
she-
opted out. She said she did not
Yes.
want to go up on stage by herself.
Right.
So it's just cool to have a community, like to be
It
able
is,
to do
and-
this
yeah.
with a group of people.
It is a fun hobby.
It's fun.
It is fun, and it's fun to go and show it off and do and
Yeah.
show off all the work. I'm not going to let it go by next time. You're going to get called up. If we win anything, you're going to get called up on stage to talk to the judges and tell them the things that you did.
I wrote it all down.
I know, but they didn't read any of that.
Did they have
off.
it on the? I didn't know
I
if
didn't look at what
if
they
the
had.
guy who the MC had the piece of paper or if the judges actually got it or not.
I don't know that they didn't. They think they were filling out their own
Yeah.
sheets with the people's just names and
Yeah.
stuff on there, so they didn't have all that
Yeah.
info readily available as to who made
Right.
what or what was made. That's why the judges.
Because I definitely called out Silco's tie knot in the.
Yeah, nobody said anything about it.
I mean, he spent a lot of time learning that.
Yeah, look it up. Eldridge tie knot. It
was
is
rough.
It is insane. I don't understand how it physically works, but by the time you're done, it's not like a regular tie knot where you have like the little part. It's like a little nub.
Yeah, there
sticking
was
out.
not
you gotta,
much
like,
left.
Tuck it in somewhere. But other than that, yeah, it worked out.
I mean, for this photo that I'm showing right now was, I think, around 4:30 p.m. 4:15 p.m.
On the day. We had been there
So
since
we got
noon.
there at about 12:20.
Yeah.
I want to say. So they had been in these costumes for several hours, and we were literally just standing around waiting for all of this to happen. There was not a whole lot.
Again, that's where it comes in where I think they should make the actual convention bigger because it wasn't like we could go to the costume contest and like in the hour and a half, 2 hours that we have to wait, we can go and walk around and shop and look at the vendors. Like it's literally like one loop around and that's it.
Yeah, but even so, like they didn't want to leave the area because there was stuff going on. They were doing the trivia questions, which was fun to just sit there.
And we waited.
We
for
did the photos,
So
and
that was a big part of not walking around, sitting there waiting.
I mean, I'm so thankful that I knew to get in line for the photos. I know I was super irritated waiting a full hour in line, standing there. My back was on fire.
But he did
it was worthwhile.
When he was done shooting the
yeah, he said, "Come back. I'll shoot
right
you
away,
first." Yes,
and you guys are first, right?
And that was great. And there was a huge long line after us,
Yeah.
and then it went right back to the contest. Like so, he had to pause again and all of that, which it was worthwhile.
He needs a partner.
Yes.
The guy needs another camera and another shooter.
Well, I think we also didn't really
Another
understand
camera
what he was
operator, shooter.
offering. Like he was doing these photos for $10 a photo.
And literally he had a poster and he had taken an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and wrote $10 on it and stuck it above the poster.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that means.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was really just the fact that he was going to take any photo that we wanted, and we had to pay $10 per photo that we wanted. And he
Which is cool.
showed us
giving you the digital image,
the
which you're
picture.
allowed to do pretty much whatever you want with.
He was messing with the lighting. I did ones where I held Maddie's long braid and on the count of 3 I dropped it so it looked like it was floating. Like those are going to be badass photos.
The one where I was pushing them apart because the sisters are fighting. That was a cool photo that like never really happened in the show.
Yeah, we'll share the photos when we get them. He said a couple days, but. We ended up spending $100.
MadTakeTV like YouTube page.
Yeah.
You can make like posts on there, so I'll post them on there so everybody can check them out and stuff. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I don't know if we're ready like for like a C2E2 contest.
I don't know.
You're talking. You better level up your game.
Yeah.
If you're going to enter those, because those people are insane. Some of those costumes are wild.
Yeah.
Some of those costumes, they have to walk around with at least 2 or 3 other people.
To help
clear
them.
the way for them to like walk through in these insane things that they built. We've never even gone to a contest at C2E2, so we have no idea.
I don't even know where they are.
Right. Well, they're in one of the convention halls that are in there. Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll do this again for C2E2. She said she might want to do Jinx.
I don't know.
But I think she also said she has a specific character she wanted to dress as.
Yeah.
And if she does that, I probably won't do costume for C2E2. I like to go and just kind of like.
Yeah. The one thing I wish we would have thought about ahead of time, the fact that Maddie changed her wig from the long braids to the short hair. I wish we would have thought about bringing the dark Vi and because she had a black leather jacket at home, and I know I have black short wigs, and just swap out.
You could have done like the pink ends.
Yeah, had Vi switch her pink wig to the black wig and throw on for the adult one.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't have it didn't matter, but it just would have been cool.
But you know what though?
They would have appreciated.
It was appreciated, and it was mentioned. The lady that was organizing the line and asking where everybody was situated in the line, she said, "Ooh, you changed your costume for this contest. That's a good idea."
Yeah.
And walked away. And then even the judge up there, when we went up there, he was like, "I like the fact that you changed it to like." And this guy, the guy that was the judge, he said he was a fan of the show, so he got the reference that she changed it for the end game, you know.
And it wasn't even like on purpose. We didn't buy this wig for her to be like when she chopped her hair off. It just happened to be what actually happened in real life. I cut the braids off to add on to the other wig, and then I was like, oh wait, it doesn't even look that bad. Like it looks cool that we chopped the braids off.
And then when she put it on and put the hood on over it, I'm sorry, man. She put the hood on over the chopped wig, and then just the hair falls out the front. It was wow,
it looks cool.
Perfect. Yeah, totally nailed it. Because the haircut was almost the same. Because that's basically what she did in the show, was just cut her braids off, and the front of her hair pretty much stayed.
Yeah.
So all in all, a good time. Huge shout out one more time to my wife. She did most of the work for both costumes. Shout out to Sasha and her mom, who did a lot of work on their costumes. Huge shout out to Jay for 3D printing the fist, the grenade, and the gun. I am going to be getting into 3D printing just because of how cool these turned out and how much fun she had painting it. So I don't know, look forward. There might be some content coming of us, like, I don't know, doing something like that. I might not have the 3D printer quite yet, so we might have him print us something to work on. But like, I don't know, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun, something fun that we kind of enjoyed doing together. So we might, turn it into content, and then either post them online for sale or display them somewhere, depending on what they are.
I don't know what we would ever do with this stuff if we were keeping it. So I mean,
Look around at the
probably
room, like there's literally like
that is the League of Legends shelf. Okay, so it'll just chill right here. I forgot.
If
Well, that's gonna fall over. We can't leave that there.
You could 3D print a little stand.
Yeah,
for
you
it.
need a stand for that.
The Maddie can, if Maddie doesn't want to display it, then
She
I'll just
doesn't-
absolutely
she doesn't
display
care.
it out here.
Yeah.
Because I think the stuff is super cool, and the idea of making my own
Oh, I'm sorry. I
statues or
didn't even
action
talk about
figures.
these.
You did?
I didn't talk about what I made them with, did I?
Oh, the fluid? No. Go ahead. You tell them about that. Yeah.
So the vials came with the light inside the bottom down here. This one's finicky, but it's literally, it was a clear vial, and then I painted the top and the bottom of it, and then it came with an instruction kit for
blinking.
how you make the fluid, and it said to put water with so much hair conditioner and pink food coloring, which I did not have. So I was
She's
like,
also a master of making things work. This goes with cooking as well. She'll look up a recipe and she'll be like, I don't have this ingredient, so I'm going to replace it with this other random ingredient that I have. It usually turns out okay. So
Yeah.
she did the same thing here.
yeah, so I actually ended up grabbing some old pink frosting, like just regular icing.
Like icing. Like it was like the Pillsbury
Yeah,
icing.
but it was like a hot pink color.
Yeah.
So I put that in with water in a pan, and I boiled it till it all melted down and became this
Pink fluid.
This pink fluid. I did add in some sprinkles that ended up
dissolved.
disintegrating
Yeah.
into the water, but and my friend's daughter said, well, why didn't you just put glitter in there? And I'm like, oh my God, what a
that's it
great
for-
idea. I
yeah.
should have done that. But the pink food coloring mixed with water,
It really
boiled
did.
down, looks fine. It worked out nicely.
So what I did was the way my jacket was hanging, you can see it like, so I have like this little side pocket on the pants. So I just slid it in the side pocket, and it just, so like if I moved my jacket a certain way, you could just see this pink glow coming from my jacket. It absolutely nailed it. It worked out perfect. I don't think it could have went better than it did for us.
Yeah,
Being like only, so this was Madeline's second contest she entered. Last year she won best group, best teen group. And they were Five Nights at Freddy's characters. Their costumes were all really good. She had this like phone head that she had created for the character Phone Head.
She was glam rock chica, I
Right.
think. So she had on all the bright colors
Right.
and
I made her a guitar like a out of corrugated plastic and just kind of like I just did digital prints of the guitar and like on front and back, so it was like it turned out good. So this is her second contest, mine and Sasha's first contest. So like, but like just to know, like validation was the word that I was looking for last night when we were talking. To have the validation of actually winning the contest and being judged by people who do the same thing, like, yeah, you did a really good job, is a ton of fun. And yes, it's really rewarding.
I think it does help that we're judgy people to start with. So we're always, I would say, critiquing how people put on their own cosplays. Like we can appreciate how much effort goes into
Really?
what they did, like
Right.
how they made it, how they assembled it,
Right.
what they're wearing. You know, like
And I don't want to be mean to anyone or any kid that wants to enter a costume contest. But if you're going and you're taking your kid, whether he be like a 10 or 11-year-old kid, to a Comic-Con.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yes.
If they don't know any better, you can't be upset that they're wearing a onesie.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset at the kid. I'm more upset at the parent.
But
And
if
I
they
get it,
don't know
like,
any better, then
but
you
still,
don't. They
like,
it is
you
what it is.
can't-
And
Now,
those
you mean
kids
to
got
tell
just
me-
as cheered as
Sure
everybody
they
else.
did, and that's
they
great.
did.
And I appreciate
But they did not
that.
win.
However, there was zero effort. put into that. And like, yes, that's not acknowledged. I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
But that's not acknowledged there, which is good.
Yeah.
But the parent had to have shown up and looked and been like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, you know what?
But maybe they didn't.
We're going to skip the contest. How though?
You don't know how people's brains work.
I get it, and I guess that could be us and other people. I
Our
tell you what, like,
expectations are up here with the judges. Like, like Maddie is not walking out of the house in something that she is not 100% confident that she's going to win.
That's
something
true
in.
too, right?
She will not, like, if the cosplay is mediocre, she's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not wearing this one.
Well, I even think that the Oscar the Grouch, she said the same thing. She was working on an actual Vi costume.
She wanted to go as Vi, but she
didn't
said,
like it.
and I was like, "What? Why would you not have always been Oscar the Grouch?" And she said, "Oh, this was always Plan A."
Right.
But she was working on a Plan B because maybe Plan B would be better.
And I think it was that she saw the 3D printed hand.
oh,
and
I'm
doesn't,
positive
she doesn't have,
she
doesn't
saw
have
that,
the 3D
yeah.
printing capability, so she saw
Yeah.
that and she was like,
The
"All right."
girl who played Oscar the Grouch is a friend of the girls and happened to see what our Vi was going to be wearing.
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, I can't compete with that."
Right. So she went as Oscar.
she
killed
won.
it. It was
She
great.
won the individual all by herself.
Right.
It was great.
She just had like a green, like baggy knit sweater on.
Yeah.
She didn't paint her face or anything.
No. She had fishbone earrings that she
had
made.
Yeah, it was
like tons of
was a
really
great
unique
costume.
stuff. Yeah. There was a lot of really cool stuff there.
The best in show ended up being from like an anime. I don't know which one, but her costume was insane. She was like
pink
a
and white one.
rich red and white. She had every part, like every limb was different.
There was
She had
also
a
the
crazy
nurse.
hat.
That nurse one.
And she did when she came up on stage, she did the
Yeah, she really was
creepy
creepy.
walk. She
yeah.
did a good job with all that.
She like made a mask full
Yeah.
of blood and all sorts
Yeah,
of
but she
stuff.
couldn't see out of, so they had to direct her
Yeah.
on the stage. It was funny.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that happening, like when people like the Baxter Stockman guy needed help. Like I said to her earlier, I was more impressed with the fact that guy showed up by himself.
Yeah.
With no one else helping him, like guiding him around in that costume. I mean, he was walking on giant blocks. Like he had big foam
Yeah.
blocks that he was walking on his feet. So he was walking on essentially stilts at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He had a thing where he could reach around his back and spread his like fly wings. Like it was crazy. It was huge, like his headpiece was like this big. He had two arms coming off. He won Best in Con, deservedly so. But
Yeah.
like the fact that he got there, got out of the car, he had to have put most of that on in the freezing cold, nasty parking lot,
Yeah.
and then walk in all by himself. Because I
Yeah.
did not see anybody like aiding him or assisting him when, like I said, at like C2E2, you see other people that show up with the people with huge costumes to like aid and help him out, get in and out of it,
Yeah.
and then walk around, So like that was impressive. That guy's costume was cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that guy at C2E2.
Yeah, maybe.
If you made that, I'd be taking that son of a bitch everywhere. You have to go show that off all year.
I mean, the crazy thing is that almost every year when we go to C2E2, we see a lot of the same people, a lot of the same costumes. People have a Jack Sparrow, and it is freaking hands down amazing, and they wear the same
I
one.
bet that costume costs thousands of dollars.
I understand, but your daughter will not wear the same costume twice. We've gone to C2E2 every single year. She's somebody different. When she was like 7 or 6,
Well, even didn't she do 2 different costumes on 2 different days at one point?
Yeah, she would not wear the same one twice. Not a chance. She doesn't want to be pictured in the same costume twice. So, which is cool if you have the means to do that.
She's
but
always worked, and it's so funny because she wore the Jinx costume. It's like at this point, it's like dead to her.
It's dead to her. So Ballora, I mean, we'll have to.
From Five Nights at
We'll have to somehow maybe we'll do another video on past cosplays that Maddie's done,
Right.
where we could show you some of the stuff and talk about what went into creating the costume. When she went as Ballora, when she was 7, let's say, I don't remember, I got a white bodysuit, like those Green Man suits that like go up over your head.
Yeah.
Like everything was white. And then we tucked the hood in, and I painted her face and spray painted her hair and drew the like bolts on her. But then we made the tutu and added the all sorts of stuff.
For anybody who's familiar with Ballora, it's like she's like a robot ballerina out of Five Nights at Freddy's. We went to this con. C2E2 is always packed. And it's very rare to see a unique costume there.
Right.
Usually you see 25 Harley Quinns. You see a couple Jack Sparrows. You see a bunch of Deadpools. You see this and that. Very rare to see a unique costume if it isn't one of these huge things. She was the only one in the entirety of McCormick Place that day dressed up as Ballora from Five Nights at Freddy's.
There was other people dressed as Baby and Freddy Fazbear, and she was the only Ballora, and I don't think I've ever seen a Ballora since.
Since then. And that's the most we've ever got stopped for pictures.
Oh my God. Every two steps somebody wanted a picture.
For pictures with her. She was little that time,
and
too.
I think that kind of like blew up her head in the fact that like how she wants to be treated as a cosplayer. She has forever had these expectations since she was Ballora that everyone will stop me. In the 1 year, she worked on a cosplay for months before C2E2. I helped her get this.
This was last year,
this
right?
Cape. No, this was, I want to say 2 years ago. Okay. We did a whole trial run with this cosplay. I took pictures of her. We like ironed stuff onto shirts and got the right wigs, and I made this crown and all sorts of stuff. And then the day before C2E2, nope, she's making a light up mushroom hat. What in the world? We got stopped
a lot with the mushroom hat, though, too.
That one was a really popular cosplay. I'm not really sure what.
I don't remember what that was from.
Why or what, but
she's into a lot of weird like YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of like huge like YouTube things that she dresses as. And when she dresses stuff, I always say, Maddie, nobody's gonna recognize that. Much to my chagrin.
Yeah.
A bunch of people recognize it.
Because last year she dressed up as somebody from Has Been Hotel.
It was something like that.
Some like devil looking thing. It was super creepy. Yeah. And she got stopped by groups of people dressed as people from the
that
same
show. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, it's a cool thing. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. And like, I love seeing how people make things so unique to themselves. Like, I love seeing people dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire and like in full,
that was so
full
good.
On character.
I was going to say not only costume, but full on character. Because like we walked past that guy and I think I turned around and said Mrs. Doubtfire and he turned around and went, hello. Like it was great. Like
it's so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And he never broke character. Yeah. Like those are like super fun cosplayers that do that and get into the Jack Sparrow guy never breaks character.
Never.
Like, you see him, he's Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
You take pictures with him, he's doing the movements and everything. Like it's a fun community and hobby to be involved in, and it was good to be able to win and put something together that really like resonated with people and it resonated with the judges and got cheers and people. I mean, she got a huge cheer the first time she went up as Jinx. She got a lot of people cheered. Her costume was great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look forward to doing it again. I want to get into more of the prop creation. I obviously I'm a collector of things. You can see like the stuff behind me. So like I have a vision of a weapon wall. I want to start making like all the major like cool swords and guns and shields and shit from all the games and movies I love. And my wife will paint them and make them look awesome.
I'll try.
Great.
I get a lot of judgment in this house. So like if I don't do things the right way, like, and I try not to take it to heart. Like he was so upset that Maddie was like, she didn't like the gun because it didn't have the metallic-y gold and stuff on it. And I didn't take it to heart. I really didn't. I was like, all right, well.
I was like, because she had worked really hard on it and I thought it looked really good.
I did what I could and I was like, all right, well, she wants it to be metallic-y. So I'll go get the metallic and I'll add it to it. Like it, I mean, if it's a vision that somebody else has and you're trying to execute it, I know what that's like being a makeup artist and doing makeup on people. And then I do what I think. Well, and then people look in the mirror and they're like, oh my God, no, that I want my eyebrows to be this shape or whatever. I can't take that to heart because it's not me. Well, I'm not wearing it.
That's the same thing. Like when somebody, like I do graphic design, like design logos and stuff like that. Like you can't get your feelings hurt about the stuff. Because like you could send somebody a bunch of logos and they're like, yeah, you got anything else?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, all right. They didn't like those, and you thought they were really good. It happens. You can't have your feelings hurt about it. It's the same thing. But the gold, the metallic gold. I mean, like in the end, it
She
was
was
the right
right.
call.
She was definitely
It looked
right.
really good.
Yeah. And there's
the spray coat
so
with the
many
clear-
times that he and I work on projects together and we butt heads. We have different views on designs and how things should look and what colors or whatever.
Very stubborn.
And I'm always right. And
Right.
it always works out. We
It
get
does.
it to work out and everybody's
Which
happy,
which
and that's the
it's
point.
another thing, like, and I know it's not necessarily funny to us as it's happening when we bicker like that. Sometimes it is funny. Sometimes we're just giving each other a hard time, joking back and forth. But like when other people see us do that, they're always laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are too much.
Right.
And it's not, again, this isn't like when we bicker like that, it's normally not, I'll say normally, not always. It's normally not out of anger. Like, we're not mad at each other. It's just like we see things differently.
Right.
And
We have
we're both
different ideas of
we're both very like,
if we're cooking spaghetti, how I cook the spaghetti and how he cooks the spaghetti are totally different
it's
ways.
the peanut butter and jelly argument.
But in the end result will be the same.
Right. Or we can usually find some sort of compromise where we're like,
But
all
he's
right,
wrong on
that
the peanut
works.
butter and jelly. Like, it's peanut butter, jelly together. That's all. There's never putting peanut butter and then jelly on top of the peanut butter on the same piece of bread and
amidst
then
this argument,
dry
we found out
bread.
the correct way to do it, which is peanut butter on both pieces of bread and jelly in the middle, so the bread doesn't get soggy. That's hands down the only way to make them. And that was
Not
found out
according to
during
my
this argument.
grandmother. My granny just told me the other day that it's butter and then peanut butter and then
Butter?
jelly.
Oh
And
my
I was
God.
like, we were talking
Like,
about
yeah,
it. And
if
she said,
you-
you don't put butter on
Butter?
your peanut butter and
Just
jelly
like regular
sandwich?
butter?
I was like, where is butter in peanut butter and jelly?
I've never had that.
I don't even
I've
know what you're
never had
talking
it,
about
like-
right now. So yeah,
I bet it's really good.
it probably
But I'm not just eating raw butter.
gross.
It's just weird. Anyway.
All right. Well,
yeah.
thanks for
If you watched
listening.
this whole thing, thanks for listening to us. Go ahead, outro it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Take us
what's
out.
our outro?
I don't have one. You got to make one up.
Share, like MadTakeTV, and
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah,
If you
that.
have any suggestions, you want to share your photos of your cosplays with us, that'd be awesome. You can put them in the comments below. I don't have any like Discord or anything like that. I'm still working behind the scenes on that kind of stuff. But anyway, if you joined us for the whole thing, you stuck around for the whole thing, thank you. Come check us out. I don't know, my next video is going up soon. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll be back on Severance by next Friday. So if you're sticking around for that, come check us out. Anyway, MadTakeTV. We'll see you in the next one.
bye.